તાજા સમાચાર તમારી ભાષામાં મેળવવા માટે ડાઉનલોડ કરો ગુજરાતી મિડડેની એપ.
Hi, this is Jatin Paranjape with my analysis from yesterday's India versus England match in Lucknow. In what was supposed to be England's attempt at redeeming their performance in the World Cup, they unfortunately were not able to do so. They started off well with the ball, won the toss and elected to field because they consider themselves a chasing side. And Vokes and Willie both were on the money on a pitch which had dual bounce and dual pace as well. It was a dry pitch with a lot of cracks, but with also some patches of grass. So this allowed Vokes and Willie to get some lateral movement, and they bowled just how county professionals do so. They went about their business with accuracy, very quickly found the right length for the pitch, and that length and that incoming movement from Vokes got Gill undone. And after that it was a struggle for the Indian team. Rohit Sharma tried attacking at the start of the innings, but very quickly realized that this was not a pitch for shot making. This was a grinding away runs at the end of the innings kind of a pitch, and he settled into that mode very, very quickly. This was smart thinking from him, because while he was making this transition into a more steadier mode, India had already lost Kohli and Shreyas Iyer. So it was important for KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma to put together a partnership, which unfortunately ended with a rather ordinary shot from KL, who was looking so good till then. And somehow I thought that the Indian batters kind of gave away a lot of the momentum in this innings, because they were trying to force the pace. I think they still thought 280, 290, 300 was a par score, and I thought they were a little wrong in their assessment. Par score was probably 260 or 270. India got only to 229, and this was due to, as I said earlier, some really accurate bowling by the Englishman, but also some astute captaincy by Butler, because he used Rashid, he used Livingstone, and he used Moeen Ali very, very judiciously, and those middle overs were also seeing India struggle to force the pace. Add to that the brilliant fielding by the English side. I think they must have stopped about 35 to 40 runs yesterday in the field. So it gave England a chance to redeem themselves in this game. But they had to contend with 5 quality bowlers, which India have. And when I say quality, I mean quality and form, because these 5 bowlers, in spite of Hardik not being around, are holding their own in a 50 overs game, and not only holding their own by keeping the runs down, but holding their own by taking wickets at regular intervals. Bumrah was fantastic, but the man of the match for me yesterday was Mohammed Shami. I've always said in the past, it's an absolute delight to watch him bowl, and the way the ball leaves the hand, it's any fast bowler's dream to have that seam in such a steady position. He very, very quickly picked up the right length on that pitch. In fact, as I was watching England bowl, it was coming to me that maybe Shami will be the right guy for this pitch, because he naturally bowls that length, which was the most dangerous length for this pitch. So he was fantastic, and he was aided by some really ordinary batting by the English team. I thought the shot by Ben Stokes was atrocious, it's really unbecoming of such a great player to be playing cricket like this. The other part of the Indian bowling ecosystem was Kuldeep Yadav and Jadeja. Jadeja was metronomic as usual, but Kuldeep bowled beautifully on a pitch which gave him some assistance. The ball which got Butler was an absolute beauty. You can count it in the top 10 wrist spinners dismissals in the history of the white ball game. And all in all, India held their nerve in a tight game against some astute captaincy from Rohit Sharma. Always tight in the field as well. And all in all, now India march on into the semi-finals. England are the first side to be eliminated from this World Cup in a rather embarrassing fashion. Now England will have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what their strategy is going to be in the 50 overs game over the next few years. On the other hand, teams like South Africa, Australia and New Zealand will now be wondering, and they will be in the war room trying to understand how to tackle India's bowling, because they are in such fine form. As I said, they have been metronomic, super accurate. So now it is up to some teams to come up with an out of the box strategy to counter India. Because let's not forget that come the semi-final, they will have Hardik Pandya in the team as well. They will have 6 bowling options, and it becomes a little bit of a challenge for teams to then counter 6 top quality bowlers who would walk into any team in the world today in white ball cricket. So it sets the stall up for the semi-final really strongly. But on the other side, India have one or two decisions to make as well. The one decision is whether to stick with Shreyas Iyer or no. Because when Hardik Pandya comes into the team, it's going to be a toss-up between Shreyas and Surya. And yesterday Surya played a gem of a knock, played this role of a senior partner at a time when it could have, him getting out could have meant India being bowled out for 180, 190. But he kind of played the role of a senior partner, brought all his years of experience of playing for Bombay to the party, and then took India to a position of relative safety at 230. So I think now Indian think tank will have to make an assessment whether to continue with Shreyas or to go for Surya once Hardik is back. My feel is that they will go for the player who's more in form, and hence the next couple of games become very important for Shreyas.
સબસ્ક્રાઇબ કરો ગુજરાતી મિડ ડે. બેલ આઇકોન પર ક્લિક કરીને મેળવો તમામ વિડીયોના ડાયરેક્ટ નોટિફિકેશન.